Hi, so for today's video, we're going to talk all about wines. But first, let me introduce myself. So I am Rafael Converas. So first, what is a wine? So wine is a type of alcoholic beverage where it is made from fermented fresh grapes. So wines are popular in Western countries like in the European continent. So they use wine for their celebration, feast, bouquet, and also to complement their courses meal like the entrees, the appetizer, or for the desserts. So they also use wines as a flavoring for their dishes and also in making sauces like the wine reduction sauces. And we have a four classification of wines. So we have a natural or still wine, the sparkling wine, the aromatic wine, and the fortified wines. First, we have a natural wine. So natural wine, it is just a fermenting fresh grapes naturally. So it is like an organic wine. So we have three distinguished colors of natural wine. We have a red wine, the rosy wine, or the rose wine, and the white wine. So in the red wine, in fermenting the red wine, they fermented both of the grapes, meat, and the skin, making it has a darker color. The next one, we have a rose wine. So at the beginning of the fermentation process, they ferment both of the grape meat with the skin on it, and in the middle time of the fermentation process, they remove the skin of the grapes as they achieve the rosy-like color of it, making it a lighter color compared to the red wine. The next one is the white wine. So in fermenting white wine, they ferment fresh grapes without the skin. So it has a little whiter color compared to these two. So we have a Shiraz, Memoro from Italy, and Chardonnay. White of its image came from Chile. So now we're going to talk all about sparkling wine. So sparkling wine is like a continuation process of the natural wine. It conducted a second fermentation process wherein it is sealed or covered with a lid so that they can trap all the gases inside, making it a little carbonated. So a little share of my story. So I have a training related to agriculture. I have NC2. So during one of our activities in making organic fertilizer, we use molasses or concentrated sugar. So as we store it, we need to loosen the cap because if we accidentally seal it, it may explode. So for me, it is a little the same with this sparkling wine. So they seal it to trap all the gases inside. So the popular example of a sparkling wine is the champagne. So we always see it in the movies, they just like pump it out. So they use sparkling wine in a celebration or feast, especially in European countries. So basically, Champagne is the name Champagne is a region in France. So they name their sparkling wines based from the origin region of it. So we have a Burgundy, Alsace. So they are all regions in France. So a proper wine sommelier can distinguish where the bottle came from or where the region it came from based on the bottle, because every region in France they produce different shape or different design of a bottle. That's why a wine expert or a wine sommelier can distinguish it just by looking the bottle. So we have a champagne here, also champagne, but a little different brand. And we have a sparkling Perry, so it is a Lambrino. And we have a what we call a Spumante, so it is a Italian sparkling wine. So the third one, we have the fortified wine. So it is type of wine wherein it has a much stronger bitter taste and also has a much higher content. So we have four types of fortified wine. So we have the sherry, the port, the Madeira, and the Marsala. So the first one, we have the sherry. So a brandy is added to the wine, making it has a higher alcohol content. And it is made from a town in Spain called Jerez. So during the blending process of wine and brandy, they called it the Solera system. So we have a types of sherry. So we have a Fino. It's a dry. And we have the next one. We have a Manzanilla. So it's a little lighter much than the Fino. The next one, we have the Amontillado. So it is just a medium average dry and has a aroma of a hazelnut. And the last one, we have the Olorosa. So it is a full body and it is much sweeter compared to the first three types of sherry. So the next type of fortified wines, so we have a port. So basically port is a fortified wine with a brandy before it is added with a sugar. So we have a different types also of port. So we have a vintage port. So it is bottled after it is held in a cask 1 to 3 years. And the next one, we have a late bottled port. So it is like the vintage port, but it is bottled after 5 years in a cask. The next one is the crush port. So it is bottled after several years in a cask and it develops a crust. So we also have a tawny port, a ruby port, and also a white port. So the third one, we have the Madeira. So Madeira, it is made from an island in Portugal called Madeira or Island of Madeira. So its characteristic it has a longer shelf life and also it is used in kitchen for food preparation. So we have 8 types of Madeira. The first one is the Sercial. So it has a lighter taste and it is usually served as chilled. The next one, we have the Verdelho. So it has a medium and dry characteristic of type of Madeira. Then the next one, we have the Bold. So it compared to Verdelho, it is much sweeter but also dry. And the last one, we have the Malsi. So it is a full body and has a richer body and has a full body. So the last classification of wine, so we have the aromatic wine. So it is a mix of natural wine and the fortified wine. So it is a type of wine where it is fermented and aromatics are added to it. So it is fortified with brandy and flavored with aromatics like herbs and spices. So it has a strong aroma, a different smell compared to the natural wine that has a sweet grape smell. Aromatic wine has a different smell based from the flavor or the spices added to it. So we have 2 types of aromatic wine. So we have a vermouth and the wine aperitifs. So under the vermouth, so we have a dry vermouth. So it has a lemon and it has a dry, it's a little bit dry. So the next one, we have the sweet vermouth. So it is a deeply aromatized and has a sweet aftertaste because it is enriched with a caramel. The next one is the Bianco. So it has a bitter sweet taste like because it is enriched also with a vanillin. So the next one, we have the bitter. So it is made by macerating spirit. It is aromatized with roots, herbs, and different barks. and it is believed to cure indigestion and hangover. So the best known and the best selling brand of bitter is the Campari. So we're done with the classification of wines. So I want to discuss this part because I love agriculture and farming. So these are some of the needed to be considered in yielding or in producing quality wines. So first, we need to have a good variety of wines. Grapes. Sorry. So first, we need to pick the best variety of grapes so that we can produce the best and quality type of wine. So there are many varieties of grapes. So there are sweet, there's a little bitter. That's it. So the next one is the soil. So grapes want to be yield in a chalky and loam soil. So it wants to have a dry soil. So unlike here in the Philippines, we are a tropical country, so we have a wet season. So grapes cannot go better in our country. So the first one is the third one is the climate. So as I said, grapes want to be yield in a dry, so it cannot yield in our country, so it always yield and grows in European countries. So the next one, we have the vinification or the science of making a wine, and the last one is the viticulture. So it is like a branch of agriculture wherein it focuses more on yielding grapes. So they study how to innovatively yield grapes. Also, they uses science to test the soil. There are many considerations in yielding grapes to produce a quality wine. So we are done with the classification of wines. So thank you, and I hope that you learned something in this video. So again, I am Rafael Contreras from HRA 101, and have a nice day, and thank you. Stay safe.